Hello and welcome to this tech tutorial on Athena's dashboard system. The new dashboard system was released in March 2019, and I'm going to walk you through how to use the new system. The login page has not changed. The login page as you used before is agent.athenare.com. So you go to this page and you're going to have your login information. It's the same information you used on our prior dashboard system. If you're viewing this video after joining the brokerage after March 2019, then you should have an email from us giving you your login information, which is your Athena email and a password. I'm going to log in as Pete. I use a program called RoboForm to store all my passwords, but you might have to memorize yours or keep it somewhere and access the system that way. You'll see that the dashboard has been completely redesigned to sort of have a site within a site. So this is an intranet system where we can communicate, we can give you forms, we can put our training videos. It's sort of a contained site for all of the agents. The different pages or different modules of the site are all accessed through this bar at the top. The home page is designed for sort of announcements and an overview of your recent transactions. We're going to have announcements here, things like we have upgraded forms available, which we've uploaded to the site. Sometimes you click on it and there's a little more to read than the quick announcement. These will be generally just announcements on things going on within the brokerage. We also have a calendar here, which we're going to try to keep updated on a monthly basis, mainly to tell you about opportunities for networking. So, for instance, there was a networking or educational opportunities. There was a crypto conference in New Orleans, and that might be a good place for you to meet potential clients, to give out your business cards and get business cards. We're going to be on the lookout for those types of opportunities, and we'll share them through this calendar system. You can click on the date and it'll tell you. You see there's a circle around any date where there's information or there's a calendar entry for that date, and it's going to display it to the right here. The default is that it will roll through the dates for the month if you haven't clicked on something. You are not able to add anything to this calendar. It's not a calendar management system for you. It's not designed that way. It's just for the Athena management to put things on to share with you. Next, on the home page, you're going to see your recent transactions, and I'll show you in a minute how to upload transactions into the system, but this displays your most recent transactions, and you can access them from this display here as well. To the right of this section, you'll see your annual goals, and this is going to show you where you are to date towards your cap. So as you know, we have two cap plans. Pete is entered into the system on the $25,000 cap plan. It shows you that, and here it shows you how much he's paid to the brokerage to date towards that cap. Pete, you need to get working on that, my friend. And down here, we're going to show you our preferred vendors, our vendors for things like home inspections or plumbing inspections or photography. We place these vendors based on your experience. And so let us know if you have a bad experience with one of these vendors. And if they're not treating our agents right, we're not going to recommend them. We'll take them off. Conversely, if you really like someone, let us know. And this can be an opportunity for us to share vendors and funnel business to people who take good care of Athena and Athena's agents. Now, let me take this section as an opportunity to tell you this site is in beta. So we decided when we built this site not to lease. We want to own. We wanted to be able to customize a dashboard system that would suit our particular needs and that would be versatile enough for us to design around our needs rather than fitting our needs into some pre-designed, predetermined system that we lease. That being said, the site now in its first stages is in beta. So when I'm releasing this video, we have to work out a few kinks. Right now, it's just showing the same phone number for all our vendors. You may spot a couple things like that on the site. We're generally working on those. However, if you note something, please bring it to our attention. That's why it's in a beta version. That's why for the next 3 months, we're going to sort of track any of these changes and fix them and then launch a full final version of the site after we've gone through that process. Back to the top of the site, the navigation bar, you'll see This is how you're going to access your transactions. In addition to the recent transactions, the sort of summary displayed below, this will be your main transactions page, forms and documents, training materials, mostly now training videos, reports, and then some limited settings. Most of the time when you log in, you're going to go to the transactions page. As you know, the Real Estate Commission has imposed pretty stringent requirements on us as a brokerage and on you as agents for record keeping. In the event that we're audited or you're audited, it will be our burden to produce to the Real Estate Commission all the documents from the transactions for the past 5 years. And we built this system to ensure compliance with the Real Estate Commission's rules. That's the reason we make you go in and upload the documents. That's the reason we want them all electronically. So if you're audited or we're audited, we can do a quick zip file that we give to the Real Estate Commission in compliance with all of the record keeping requirements. You'll see on this page, you can navigate the page either by searching for a keyword like the client or the property address, or by sorting by different fields. You have the ability to sort by client name. So for instance, if you've done a bunch of deals with one particular client, you want to have a chance to sit down and look at all those deals before you meet with him or her on the next deal, you can sort just by that here. You can sort by transaction status, pending or confirmed, meaning has the administration, the management of Athena approved that the transaction has been uploaded into the system and we have all the documents we need and you've been paid, or is it still pending for that to happen? And then by the date of the closing date on the transaction. Once you've created a new transaction, you can always go and access it here by clicking on this button, this edit transaction button. If we've approved the transaction, then there's not a lot you can change. Obviously, we're not going to let you go back and change the sale price or the client name or anything like that once it's approved, but you can still go in and use the system to access documents related to that transaction. You'll know they're always in a centralized place for you and the Real Estate Commission and us to access here on this page. Back to the main transactions page. How do you add a transaction? You add one with the Add New button up here. So this will take you to a page and it's going to ask you to fill out all this stuff. It's largely self-explanatory, we think, but let me run through it real quickly. You'll see that the fields that are required have asterisks next to them. So you can't enter a deal without having these fields filled out. At the top, we're going to ask you, is it a sale or a lease? Generally, we're going to assume it's a sale. Most deals are sales, so you don't have to click anything if it is. And for we're going to ask you if it's an agent-owned property. We're going to assume it's not, so you don't have to change it unless it is an agent-owned property. Here you can go in and fill out the MLS ID number. You don't have to put this in, but if you do, it sort of makes the system display your listings more, depict the listings better through photographs that are pulled from the MLS, in addition to data that can be imported from the MLS to make it easier to fill this out. So we recommend that you put the MLS ID number in every transaction for which you was run through the MLS. Put in the closing date. You can upload property images, which will then display in the dashboard system. You don't have to do that. If you use the MLS ID, the system should pull it from the MLS. Fill out the street address, the city, the zip, the client name in the format of just first and last name. Try to keep that the same each time so the system recognizes that as one distinct client. And if the name changes a little bit, it'll recognize it as two different clients, which will just not be as accessible to you. The sale price, the gross commission, obviously that's the amount paid to Athena, out of which your cut is taken and our cut as Athena is taken. Then you upload the documents related to the deal. The settlement statement, if this is a lease, then this would be, if I clicked on lease here, this would say lease agreement. If it's a sale, we need the settlement statement. You can drag and drop that document into here. You can click here and it's going to open Windows Explorer for you to access the documents through that. Same thing with the agency disclosures. Those are both required. If you have a listing agreement, we need you to put it in here. It's not required because every deal isn't a listing. You're going to be on the buyer side sometimes. If you have property disclosures, for instance, if this is a deal where you're the listing agent and it's a sale, then we need you to upload those into here. It's required. And then any other documents you want to maintain. You can always go back in and access and add to documents, but once we've approved, you can't take them out. We need to sort of lock those in. You click submit once you've uploaded it, and then it emails us and alerts us your deal has been uploaded, and we need to go and approve the deal after we make sure you've included everything that we need to comply with the Real Estate Commission rules. Next, you'll be able to access all of our forms and documents. We've spent a lot of time developing what we consider very high-end forms. So we sat down and we looked at what are the protections you need that aren't in the standard forms published by NOMAR. In some respects, we found them very deficient in the protections needed for our agents and for our clients. And we painstakingly created these forms to protect your interests and also to make the forms pretty. We see every contact with a client through even a form that you send to them as marketing, both for you and for the brokerage. So we spent a lot of time developing and sort of beautifying these forms. To that end, if you have additional forms you think would be helpful, or forms that you're generally using that weren't designed by us, let us know, and we're going to constantly work to strive to have the best forms in the business. How do you access the forms? You can search here. This is a new feature that allows you to easily access forms. So for instance, if you want to find the listing agreement, you click search and it's going to display all the listing agreements. To me, I only want to search for documents when I'm looking for them. I don't want to clump around through files. But you can also do it the old-fashioned way and click on, for instance, marketing materials or administrative documents or sales and listing forms, and they're going to be displayed here alphabetically. If you want to just peruse and see if there's anything that you could be using or should be using, this is a good way to do it. Same thing with the disclosure documents in here. I'll note that all of our forms are fully fillable. So, for instance, when you pull up this amendment to purchase agreement, we've created fields in here for you to fill it out and then have signed by the client. If certain forms aren't fillable, let us know and we'll get them converted. We have a designer we work with and an editor who proofreads everything. In addition, this is new. We have a folder to put your particular documents in. And so if there's a document you need to access on your end, you can upload that document into this folder and have it always in the system. And we're going to upload things like your contract. So you have easy access to it. Your contract with Athena, that is, you'd be able to access on our system. The next major section is the training section, where we've divided this into 3 categories. And in these categories, you can access marketing and sales, training, materials. Right now, it's mostly, if not exclusively, videos, real estate skills. And so this is things like how to handle a real estate transaction, working the deal, and then tech tutorials, things like this tutorial. When you click on it, you're going to be brought to a page where you can access all of what are in here videos and watch them directly in the system. So when I click on here, I can open this video and I can play the video and access it here on your iPhone or on your PC or Mac. I will note this pulls the videos, the system pulls the videos from YouTube. They are private videos insofar as the only way you can access them is with an identifier code that you put in the URL that is generally not going to be displayed in search results in Google. So that being said, we ask you not to share this video with anyone but other agents with Athena. We don't want this to get out there and have other agents benefit from the wisdom and the knowledge that we circulate internally. The next major section will be reports. And so this is it. As you go and you grow and you want to keep track of what you've done, you'll be able to access that in the system to show all of your transactions. And you'll be able to click on a transaction. And if you want to generate a statement, you click here and it'll give you a statement for that transaction you could keep in your file. If you need to give it to your accountant or you just like keeping statements, it's going to generate that automatically and assign a transaction number that we use for tracking. There's some kinks in our system currently on how this displays that we're working out, but we're in pretty good shape and we'll continually improve the way the system displays things like reports. You could also search by the annual income and show how much you're making per year and how much you've you've generated from specific types of transactions. You're able to print all of this out. The next section is the settings section, and most of this you're not going to need to update. If you need to change your street address or your phone number, you can go in here and change it in the system, and this will also update it to change and display correctly on the main website. This is how our site works. It pulls from our dashboard system to display all of your basic information. What is not available on here is a way to upload a personal video that you make to display on your bio page on the Athena site, client recommendations that would display on your bio page on the site, or your bio page itself, the text of your bio on the site. If you want to change any of that, get with us. We can easily change that on the back end, our side of this system, but it's something that administrators need to do. So that's going to conclude the tutorial on how to use the new dashboard system. I hope you find this a vast improvement as we do, and we'll start to really get acclimated using the system without any hiccups. But please, if you have any problems, let us know, particularly if you have any kinks in the system you discover that need to be fixed. Give us an opportunity to fix those. We value your input. We don't see it as complaining or anything like that. If you think there's a way we can improve this, that's what this is all about. We have developers who are working with us on an ongoing basis, and we can make and implement changes to the site to customize and improve it as we go, and we're going to continually do that. So good luck, and thank you for watching.